Let's see. And usually takes a second to click in, so it should be going live any sec. Oh, we're going live. It's playing an advertisement.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
How to make law of attraction work for you. Oh, if I skip ad, though. Oh, if I skip ad, then we get it.
Yo, okay. All right. I think we're live. Can people in the chat confirm that Joshua and I are live for tarot card shenanigans and fortune telling and all that cool stuff? How many people are here? Few here. Oh, yay. Oh, Leah's here. Wait, can you guys see us? Can you hear us? Confirm. Live! Curist, we did it, Joshua. We made it. Say something.
Say something.
Our sound is working and everything. All right. How are you guys doing tonight? Joshua, how are you doing?
Oh,
you were the one really joining me right after work.
I know, this is so exciting. I'm doing really well. I'm hibernating. I'm on lockdown, so I can't really leave except for short walks at night and runs in the morning. That's it.
Oh, right, because you're in LA. So how is life in LA right now on lockdown?
It's boring. I mean, I'm very busy because everybody's freaking out, of course. So I have a lot of calls that I'm handling. But yeah, we can't really go anywhere. Oh, today, Trader Joe's had a staggered line. It took me an hour because they're only letting in like 10 people simultaneously. So it took me an hour to get groceries this morning. An hour.
That's super fun.
Yeah.
I can't say that I'm jealous.
Yeah, so that's the thing with that. They're in the Starbucks that I go to every morning. They're closed down for whatever reason. I'm a little concerned. I'm guessing it might be because maybe somebody had something. That's my guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, fingers crossed that they didn't. Oh, Victor's in the chat, guys. My husband is in the chat.
Okay.
Say hi to Victor. Oh, Joshua, we should dispel. I want to take this opportunity because, like, how long have we known each other?
Well, at least this lifetime.
At least this lifetime.
I don't 20. Oh shoot! I don't know. 2015, 2016.
It's something. We've known each other for like a long time, right?
We have. We have some years. Yeah.
Yeah. You know way more about me than you reasonably should, right?
Yes.
So I thought we would take this opportunity off the top to just like confirm or talk about some of the rumors that have been spread about me since all this hit the fan. Okay,
yes.
you ready? Okay.
Ready.
Am I a Russian bot?
No, you're not a Russian bot.
Am I a closet secret Republican that was always a Republican?
No, not at all.
No. Am I a closet Russian or some sort of Russian asset, if you will?
Well, you do know Russian.
I know like 2 words of Russian.
I don't know. It's a little suspicious, but no, you're not. You're not.
Am I? Ooh, this is the one that came up today on the Donald, where they were trying to say that they were going to convert me to D. Am I a lesbian?
You are not a lesbian.
No, I'm not a lesbian. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Lesbians are fine.
No, there's nothing wrong with that at all. No, but you're not.
But I happen to be married to a man who is in the chat.
Yes.
And the last one, and I think most importantly, was there a time when I was a bit of a snowflake?
Very, very much so. Yes.
How was I a snowflake? What did I do?
I think that like most snowflakes, like when you mention Ann Coulter, they just fly off the handle.
You love Ann Coulter.
Wouldn't say love. I find her of entertaining value. No, you were definitely a snowflake before. I think so, very much so, yeah.
So when did I stop being a snowflake, do you think? When did you start to see that happening?
That's a really good question. I think that it was like a slow burn, so to speak, I think, with more and more of the Trump hysteria happening, in the sense of like he could do essentially nothing right for quite a few people. Like nothing he did I remember he gave a speech one point, and it was a really, really good speech. And I remember saying to myself, he has to have a speech coach because this is just so excellent. And I remember speaking to some snowflakes, and they couldn't even give him a break on that. And I'm like, I know that was a good speech. So I think that once people started getting like just hysterical about it, like the Resist March a few years ago in LA, I think that started you thinking of like, this is it's not right. It's like a little bit crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that's true. And I remember even back to like election night in 2016, you and I were like texting back and forth. Both, and we were like both very confident that Hillary was going to win at the beginning of the night, weren't we?
And we both wanted Hillary to win, at least I know I did. I was huge into Hillary Clinton. I really liked her a lot. I really respected her. Most of my clients are Scorpio women, so I feel like I have like a loyalty to that, to those people. But no, I didn't predict Trump winning because I didn't want to see it, and it really makes sense that like a lot of astrologers actually didn't see it because so many astrologers leaned to the left and they just did not want to see that even being a remote possibility. But yes, we were shocked, I believe.
Yes, I think as the night wore on and it became more and more obvious, I was like drinking more and more champagne. I was like,
yeah, definitely.
All right, so some psychic you are not predicting that Trump was going to win the first time. Why should we listen to you this time around, Joshua?
You shouldn't listen to a thing I said. You should take it with a very big grain of salt. I think that really, honestly, and this is why psychics really shouldn't read their friends. It's like being a journalist in that, say you do a story on your best friend, but you're going to not have that objectivity because you're writing about your best friend. So same thing with like reading or doing even a chart. You'll see what it is that you want to see. I just, even when everything said that Trump was even going to run for president, I was just like, I just couldn't see it because I didn't want to. And of course, like I have gotten a better understanding of things. I think that we all in our circles get a little bit brainwashed, and we start seeing things the way that other people see them, and we have to continue to start thinking for ourselves, which is what I think really has happened with you especially. There's the circles you were around. I mean, you were around so many snowflakes. It was even more difficult for you to get clarity, I think.
That was very true. And then I broke up with the majority of the snowflakes in October when you told me I wasn't supposed to, and I said I'm going to do it anyway.
Oh, yes. Okay.
You're like, oh, she called me out on live YouTube.
I totally forget. I don't remember these things.
It's all right. So someone in the chat wants to know what sin you committed that you have so many Scorpio women as clients.
I really like Scorpio women. I think that they're often maligned. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, they I think it's because with what I do and it's sort of esoteric, and they allow themselves to be more vulnerable with me than they do everybody else, because Scorpios are always on survival mode. Like they've suffered a fair amount of emotional trauma, which keeps them really very hyper defensive. So for whatever reason with me, and I think I do have that ability for whatever reason to disarm people, so maybe that's it.
Maybe. All right, guys, so we're going to do some astrology stuff and some psychic stuff. And so if you have questions about what is going on in the world or anything like that, please feel free to chat them in. I have some ideas about things I want to talk about. And I thought that we would start off by, let's talk about the astrology of Trump, man. Let's talk about Trump's astrological chart. What do you see when you look at his chart?
Well, let me pull it up. So Trump's chart is, I mean, it's really so fascinating. And you're going to sometimes, if you ever do astrology, there's certain things that are really on the nose. I mean, the first thing is that he's a Gemini. And Geminis are very smart. They're very good with witty banter, which he's constantly doing. But his sun sign is in Gemini, and it's next to the North Node. Now, the North Node has to do with destiny, and that is in the 10th house, which is about status, which is about reputation, which is about honors, it's about leadership, which makes perfect sense. But that sun and that North Node, which is destiny, is also next to Uranus, which rules, it's like the planet of crazy. Like, Uranus is incredibly unpredictable. You don't know what the hell it's going to do. And it also rules the internet, which is why he really loves his Twitter tirades. The other thing that's really interesting. What are you going to say?
So I was gonna say, like, Trump has actually been like reining in the Twitter tirades, though, and maybe we should talk about what has gotten into Trump in like the last couple of weeks that he's been like getting it together.
Oh, that's a really good question. Well, let's see. I'll run his transits too. But essentially, what I think you'll find really interesting about Trump is that he has a Leo rising at 29 degrees Leo, and 29 degrees Leo is it's actually a star called Regulus, which brings fame and honor and great glory, with the caveat that you mustn't revenge, because if you revenge, then you will have downfall. So that's sort of a huge karma for him. That is why people were citing articles that were in the New York Times featuring him and how he's just really brilliant or even psychic. He has that leg up to be super glorified and have quite a lot of merits, but with that caveat that he can't revenge. If he revenges, then there's going to be a downfall, which in some respects he already has, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's been revenging an awful lot during the course of his presidency up until this big crisis.
Right, but the thing is this, he also has a lot of Cancer in his chart. So Donald Trump, and I know your chart almost as well as I know mine at this point, and he is actually a lot more sensitive than both of us. He has a lot of Cancer in his chart, and Cancer is the most sensitive sign of the zodiac. And this is what I will tell you about Trump. He very much, he doesn't fire the first shot. He doesn't fire the first shot. But if you go after him, he will come after you 3 times as hard. And I respect that. I think that, if you're not doing anything, if you're not firing the first shot, if you're not starting trouble, and then somebody comes at you, well, yeah, you got to teach them not to do that. So I think that that's great. But I also think that that's very Leo rising, it's very Regulus, and that is what could get him in trouble.
Definitely, and I just want to pause real quick. Thank you, ZZ, for the super chat. That's awesome.
Thank you, ZZ.
And what I like, and that was actually pretty clear this week. Is in when he was having. Did you see that kerfuffle he had with the MSNBC reporter Peter Alexander?
Oh, is this the one when the guy asked him, "What are you going to do about Americans that are scared?" Or
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was funny though, because the first question, and this got cut off in like all the clips. The first question was, "Don't you think you're giving Americans false hope with this?" And Trump was like, "No, I don't. I think this could work." Like he was actually like had a really nice kind of like even humble answer. He's like, "I think this could work. I could be wrong. We're going to give it a try." And then the reporter followed it up with, "Well, what is your message of hope to Americans?" And Trump was like, "I mean, I think rightfully so. Like, you're a horrible reporter. That's my message to Americans." And then the reporter was like, literally did the pearl clutching move. Like, "Oh my God, you offended me."
Right. Well, the thing is that I think that Trump is really, and even Abraham Hicks, which is huge in terms of law of attraction, they will even say that Trump is absolutely excellent at law of attraction. And, if he's building a building, it's going to be the biggest building, or it's the most successful building in the history of buildings. He tells the story the way he wants it to play out. He tells the lie until people believe it, and people believe what they read. So this makes him really a master manifester. I mean, he knows what he's doing. And that's the Gemini, and also he has the Sagittarius moon, so he can see things really very big picture. But he knows how to communicate in such a way that he's laying out the way he wants things to be perceived. I mean, he's very, very good at law of attraction. I mean, he is the president. Even liberals that I know, though, they won't even give him props for what he's attained. Like, anybody could become the president of the United States. Like, yeah. I think it's foolish, and I think it's dangerous when we want him to fail, when he's the leader of our country. Like, talk about cutting off your nose to spite your face. I mean, it's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean that's I just did a video this morning about like the different media games that that they're playing right now with all this stuff. Whatever, I'm not going to rehash that. But one of the points I made in the video was 6 months ago they were complaining about Trump never has these anymore, and he's not accountable to the American people. And there's all these articles about Trump's lack of press briefings. Now Trump is doing like press briefings every single day for an hour, 2 hours, and they're like, we're not gonna carry his press briefings anymore because we don't want him talking to the American people. He's spreading lies, blah blah blah. It's like, well, what do you want him to do? I just don't get it.
Yeah. He just can't win. He just cannot win. Like sometimes you just can't win. If you're committed to misunderstanding somebody, they don't have a prayer, and I think that's the issue. And I think it's a problem because again, he is the leader of our country, and even if you don't, I think that what really it is that he hits like some major daddy buttons in the universe. And I mean, even in terms of his chart, he has this very, very strong 10th house, which is incredibly masculine. He has Saturn, which is next to Venus, so that means essentially he sort of rejects his anima, which is in a man his femininity. So he rejects that within himself. So he's like devoid of feminine energy, and he's highly masculinized with his 10th house. And I think that it's a giant daddy button that he's pressing for like so many people, and people that don't have that clarity. It would be interesting to see that the people who hate Trump the most are people that really have issues with their dads. Be interesting. I'm sure, obviously, there are people who love him that also have issues with the dad, but still, yeah.
I think it's interesting you say that because I've always kind of seen Trump, like even when I really didn't like him, as kind of like a bit of a softie, honestly.
Yeah. Well, he has all that Cancer in his chart, and I think that he is a softie, and I think that if we look at his chart with all the Cancerian stuff, he's a lot more sensitive. And that's why perhaps he needs to be so protective. It's almost like, let me show you my teeth so you don't, mess with me.
All right. So guys, if you have questions for Joshua, anything you want him to psychic, and I use psychic as a verb with him, which he appreciates, just let us know in the chat if there's anything he's got his tarot cards. We can keep talking about astrology.
I have tarot cards.
So we can do that sort of thing. So Trump did this little town hall today on Fox News, and this is something I would like you to psychic, because I am already so tired of this. I'm tired of being in my house. I want to go back to Orange Theory. I'm going to start making really bad videos soon. It's going to get me into trouble. And so, Trump today said that he wanted this to be, people to be mostly back to work by April 12th, which is my birthday. Yay.
Right. Happy birthday.
Yeah, almost. That would be a great birthday present. What do you think? Do you think that that's going to happen? Psychic, how quickly we're going to get back to work.
Well, okay, so we'll do. I think it's gonna happen. I think he has some major points. But let's see. Will we be back to work by April 12th? Now, I'm going to caveat the crap out of this, because the thing is that when we're doing psychic things, or when we're psychicking things, to use your verb, we have things that essentially we have fate, and that it's like, this is definitely going to happen. And then we have free will. So then you have Nancy Pelosi, for instance, or whomever might jump in and stop certain things. So it's one of those things. When you have people who are making decisions, those decisions are not set in stone. It's almost like when you go on a job interview, if it looks like you're going to get the job, but you're wearing a red shirt, and your interviewer hates the color red, well, that throws everything off. But let's see, as of right now, I'll make a firm call on whether or not people are going to go back to work on April 12th, yes?
Yes, let's do it.
So Carlin, ask the question so we can get the energy of the question in the cards. Can you help here?
Are people going to... I was about to swear at you. Hang on. Whew. Okay.
No swearing.
Are people going to go back to work on April 12th?
And tell me when I should stop shuffling.
Stop.
Okay. Are people going to go back to work on April 12th? Yes, I think so. I think that I think that it's going to happen, if only because with the Princess of Discs, this card is about being really very practical about it. So I think that it's sort of like, I guess the way I can answer it is yes, but it's like an in-between answer. Meaning, I think that certain people are going to be able to go back to work and it's not going to be an issue. But with Ace of Wands, I feel there's going to be some kind of choice involved in it. For instance, if somebody, feels they're how do you say that? Compromised?
Immunocompromised.
Thank you. If somebody's that, or say somebody's over 60 years old or whatever, maybe they don't have to. With the luxury card, I do think that it is going to be it's going to be nice and easy for them to, if they want to. So I would say yes, but I do think there's a certain level of will, and that people who want to will get to, and people who don't want to won't have to. I think by April 12th.
Well, that'll
I think it's gonna
be
be very
nice.
Yeah.
All right.
But I think if you really want to go back to work, I think that you'll be able to by April 12th. Of course, every company is gonna have different rules.
I really want people to go back to work. People are going to start acting crazy pretty soon. And I think it's going to be directed in weird ways.
I mean, I think that what's really interesting is that right now, in terms of what's going on astrologically, we have the North Node in Cancer, and the North Node is about our karmic destiny. And Cancer is, of course, the house of home and family. So what's happening right now, but we're forced to be at home. So this is, I mean, everything astrologically is completely aligned with what's going on right now, especially that Cancerian stuff. We're forced to stay inside, and really collectively, that's our karmic destiny. That's the easiest way for us as a universe to achieve what we're supposed to achieve, our highest potential.
Yeah, and I want to return to that topic in a second, because you and I talked about that the other day. But first of all, Leia, I think Leia is how we pronounce her name, gave us a super chat. Yay, Leia! Leia's an HR
Thank you,
professional.
Leia.
I know that.
Thank you.
So, and a lot of HR professionals hate me right now, so I'm glad when they don't. So Leia asked a question. She wants you to psychic. Will Phase 3 bill pass with the Democrats' crazy wish list?
Phase 3? Oh my God, I'm gonna brush up.
Well, it's the stimulus bill that they were like working on all week, and then Nancy Pelosi swooped in like at the last minute and has all these like social justice things in the package because they're trying to hold Trump hostage to it. So Leia wants to know if the Phase 3 bill will pass with the crazy Democrat wish list.
Okay, will the Phase 3... Will you say it one more time?
Will the Phase 3 bill pass with the Democrats' wish list?
And tell me when I should stop shuffling?
Stop.
Two of Wands, Death, no.
No, yay! No Phase 3 with crazy Democrat demands.
No. No, it's like, and the issue is that it's can you say PISSING?
Yes.
Okay, it's a pissing contest, essentially. It's like this power struggle. It's ridiculous. And that's the issue. Nancy Pelosi, I think especially, she's an Aries. She's just as much of a child as Donald Trump. And I do admit that he can definitely be very childlike. But she's very, very childish. And her friend, what's the guy's name? Mitch
McConnell.
I mean, yeah. The death card comes up, so it's sort of like, it's definitely about boundaries. There's definitely going to be a lot of pushback. And with the Three of Swords, it's unfortunate, but we're having an issue, connecting and really figuring out what it is that really, really matters. It needs to be streamlined. I get it being really about, she does not want this to be a win for him.
Yes.
Honestly.
I said the same thing. I was like, this is not about helping people at all. This is about the Democrats getting to be the heroes.
Yeah, she I think a lot of these people, in all fairness, I'm not saying that all people over 70 are off their rocker, but I do think that as you do progress in age, you do regress and you do become more childlike. I mean, you're in diapers when you're a baby and you're in diapers when you're older. And with all of these older people, I think that, it's very possible that they might not be acting as mature as they ought to. And she's certainly one of them.
Do you think, so I think we both, I believe, think that Joe Biden is like in cognitive decline at this point.
This is elder abuse, getting him on the news. This is really bad.
Oh, we'll talk about that. That I feel so bad for him. But people are saying that Nancy Pelosi, the same thing is happening. Do you think the same thing's happening with her?
I mean, I've seen enough. I think that the fact that she's the fact that she's acting so childish, I don't think that that's a woman of her stature, what a woman of her stature would do. I mean, she should be taking the high road. So a part of me doesn't think that she has all of her faculties, because otherwise, I mean, how would she have gotten ahead so high in the world if she was this, immature and bratty? And it's just, yeah, I think that, yeah, she's at least regressed a little bit.
All right, so we've got a bunch of questions that have come in. I've been sorting them. Okay, so one person, they asked this twice, so I want to make sure to ask it to you. And I don't know if you actually want to answer this, so I'm going to leave it up to you. They're curious if you're still a lefty, if you like Ann Coulter, and they're curious if you like Trump.
Still a lefty?
I don't think you ever really like.
Oh, I thought you really meant like lefty. I am a lefty. I'm like, how do you know that?
I actually did know that, but.
I honestly, I don't feel as if I'm, like that song. I'm not no Republican, no Democrat, ain't nothing in between, right? I really feel. I wouldn't categorize myself. I'm really anti-label. I wouldn't call myself lefty. I wouldn't call myself a righty. I think it really depends on the issue. Ann Coulter, I don't know what it is about Ann Coulter. Maybe it's because she gives such a visceral reaction to other people. I will say that I think that she's absolutely brilliant, and I think that like, for instance, there's so much stupidity on television, like The View. The View should absolutely be off the air immediately. And when she goes on The View, for instance, and they won't let her talk, and they're just all extremely stupid. I love Joy Behar. I've met her several times in New York City. I've shopped for strawberries with her, but I'm sorry, like, they're all very, very, very dumb for the most part. Ann Coulter, however, is brilliant. She will feed anyone their intellectual lunch. And I feel that she's just extremely intelligent, articulate. She just is really, really good. She's a lawyer. She's just really brilliant. So I respect her intelligence, and I like seeing her perform. And let me tell you that this is a performance that she's giving. I mean, I think that it's a shtick in a lot of respects. And I think that, there's a reason why she's on the New York Times bestseller list every single time she puts out a book. I mean, somebody has to be buying her books, right? And what was the third question?
I think it was just like they wanted to know like your political positions, essentially, and and you've said that. So you're not a lefty, you're not a righty.
No.
What do you think of Trump? I guess was the last one. Do you like Trump?
I do like Trump. Yeah, I do.
All right, we've got a couple of super chats. I wanna thank people for. First of all, thank you, Florida Man. Thank you, big Florida super man. Chat. And you didn't ask a question, but if you have a question you would like Joshua to psychic or us to talk about, let me know, please. And then we got another super chat, a second one from ZZ. And
ZZ, thank you.
ZZ hooked us up again, and so ZZ's question. And I don't think this is a serious question, but he did they, I don't know the gender, they.
Be careful!
God, such a bee, man.
Oh my God, you're so mean and insulting.
I know.
And insensitive.
A member of the alt-right, obviously.
I'm gonna put a sheet on you in a second.
God. But ZZ wanted to know, will the tarot cards tell us if I'm going to die in a cataclysm stemming from the eruption of Yellowstone National Park? Will tarot cards tell us that, Joshua?
I mean, probably. I think that essentially, I believe in what I've been taught, is that you, in some respects, get to choose your death. Like, there are some people that definitely want to go out with a bang, and that's why they have, like, these extremely dramatic deaths. Your astrology chart would actually probably tell you that, because...
that I'm going to go out with a bang?
I don't know. I forget what your chart says. I don't know how you'll go out. I think you'll probably go out, like, knitting or something. But your astrology chart will most likely tell you the events surrounding your death. But I will say this, that if you believe, even like when you die and how you die, it's going to be very much based upon what you believe. So if you believe that is how you're going to die, you could probably manifest it, if you should want to.
Okay, I don't want to manifest dying right now, but I was wrong. I misread. Sorry, Florida Man. Florida Man did actually have a question, and he gave us a nice big super chat. So we're gonna do our best to answer it.
Thank you.
So he's trying to figure out the best time to retire. Can we psychic that for him?
Yeah. Can I get his age?
Florida man. Oh no, he actually said it. 63 years old. 63-year-old Pisces, actually.
Oh, I wish I had his chart information. That will take too long, but let me see. When should he retire? Say Florida man. Say when should Florida man retire for me?
When should Florida man retire?
Tell me I should stop shuffling.
Stop.
I'll tell you that I think I'm getting like around 66 is what I get. However, I do think that it's not going to be like a full stop, you doing nothing. Like there's a potential that's brewing around you right now, Florida man, in that like there's something that's like that you may want that's sort of brewing beneath the surface. And then we have the lust card. So I think that you're going to be transitioning, and that's even further emphasized by Prince of Cups. So I think that you'll change your career and focus on something else. So your actual job, I think that could end anytime between now and 66. I think 66 would be the absolute latest, but I would encourage you to follow your excitement, because I don't feel as if it's a matter of once you retire, you're going to be just like in a rocking chair, making birdhouses or whatever. Like I think you're going to be doing something else. You're going to be much more passionate and doing something that you're really, really excited about. So I don't think that you're going to be ending work, so to speak, or work.
All right, so Florida man, you got a few years left. Yay.
Yay.
All right. So I want to talk about, and you kind of started to talk about this, like you and I, and mostly, well, because you've convinced me of it, you've beaten me into submission. We like believe that things happen for a reason, right? Yeah. Everything happens for a reason. Everything is created by us, whether it's like on an individual level or collective level. And so we were talking about the other day, like, why might this coronavirus thing have happened on such a mass scale? Like, how did the world create this problem? Why would they do that?
Well, I think that really we saw the writing on the wall. I mean, I was speaking with you about this, about how people's structures would be changing. And that really had to do with the fact that we had two planets, Saturn, which is all about what we're holding on to, what's real, what's defined, what's stable. And then we have Pluto, which likes to destroy things and mess everything up. Think of the energy of Capricorn. If you know any Capricorns, they're solid, they're stable, they want to maintain appearances, keep things in order. And then you have Scorpio, which will, go ballistic and crazy, right? And, perhaps even kill you if you cross them, right? So think of those two energies conjunct. Essentially in the world, it was about creating a new reality and really upending the old structures and creating really new ones. So that started in fall. And now what we have going on is, in a lot of respects, the result of that. We have Pluto now, and Pluto rules a lot of things, one of which is viruses. And then you have Jupiter, and Jupiter makes everything that it touches expand. So Jupiter and Pluto right now, and it happened, I think it was like literally the day that we got the, it may have been, I forget, it was like the 7th or the 17th, but essentially Pluto and Jupiter coming together, that created obviously proliferation and an exponential growth of the virus. And then again, I really think a lot of it has to do with the North Node in Cancer. Our collective destiny is ruled by the North Node, and Cancer rules home and family. This is making us stay at home. It's having us really focus on a sense of internal security. And the other thing that Cancer rules, as well as its opposite sign, Capricorn, where the South Node is domes. So like Cancer puts a dome around their family and nobody can really get in. And Capricorn puts a dome around their professional selves to protect their reputation. So what's happening now with the social distancing, even when you're at the market and you have to be 6 feet away from everybody, we have wider domes. That is really one of the things that we're having to learn now. It's about really creating a level of personal space so you can really define what you want in your energy, in your sphere. And that again has to do with, I think, the Saturn and Pluto coming together. It's a whole new way of doing things, because I think it's almost like, think of it in terms of, putting a whole bunch of stuff in your shopping cart when you're at the market. At a certain point, you're sort of stuck with that stuff. You're not going to, keep going all around the market, and you're not going to like empty out your cart, right? You're sort of stuck with it, even if you don't need it. And then you buy it, and before you know it, it's in your home, and then in your body. So think of it like that. Like now we're having to be more conscious of what it is that we're bringing in to ourselves and our lives energetically.
Okay.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. All right, so we've got a couple more super chats in. So we've got Nick and Courtney, and both of them have questions now. So you guys are having questions about like your personal psychic stuff. So good thing we have a psychic. But I want to encourage you guys, let's ask bigger picture questions too that impact everyone, because I think that's just much more interesting for everyone else in chat. We'll do this. So Nick wants to know his astrology chart, and I thought maybe you could do just like a quickie on like what is his like sun sign, rising, moon, all that stuff.
Oh, I'd love to do that. Can you text me his information?
So he says that he's September 28th, 1984 is his date of birth.
He wants to put that information online?
He did a super chat, man. I'm following Nick's lead. But
okay. His name's Nick. Is it N-I-C-K?
N-I-C-K.
See how psychic I am?
Oh my God, you're so good. And because I know what information you need, I preemptively asked him where he was born and what time he was born. He hasn't answered yet.
Oh, cool. I appreciate it. Well, what's his actual date? Did you say September what?
September, let me see. That's a different one. September 28th, 1984.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a great date. And did you get his time or not yet? We're waiting.
No, I haven't seen it come through yet, but maybe it'll come through soon. But maybe in the meantime, so we've got a couple other ones. So yeah. Courtney asks, I am a Leo. Will my inner life ever be peaceful?
Say her name again.
I think it's Courtney.
With a K or a C?
It's Courtnay.
Okay. Inner life ever be peaceful. And tell me I should stop shuffling on that?
Stop.
So it's interesting. What I get is there's somebody that's sort of like stealing your peace. I think that honestly is like that's the issue. I feel like there's probably like this woman who might be, and again, you might love her dearly and she might be just so amazing, but I feel that it's almost like this character in your life drives you a little bit nuts. And so it's a matter of that's part of it. She's reminiscent, I think, of a lack of inner peace in some respects. So I think that it's not a matter of you get rid of that person or those people and then you'll have inner peace. It's more a matter of you have to make the decision that you deserve peace, that you're worthy of peace, that you're ready for peace. If you're not ready for peace, you won't have peace. But I do think that that person is making it very difficult for you to have peace. She's not helping.
I think that's a... Courtney, let us know if Joshua hit the mark there. All right, we have Nick's information.
Oh, good. Okay.
Tell me when you're ready.
Ready.
Indianapolis, Indiana is where he was born, and 0200. So I'm going to assume that's 2 a.m. because he's using the 0200. But Nick, let me know if that's p.m. and not a.m.
What's the...
I think it's like 2 a.m. is his time of birth.
Oh, 2 a.m. right in the dot? I always...
Ish.
2 a.m.-ish. All right, we'll handle it. So Indianapolis, Indiana?
Yep.
Oh, we have so much Leo energy tonight. That's always such a good thing. Okay, so he is a Leo rising, and his moon is in Scorpio, conjunct Saturn. And his North Node is also in the 10th house. So what this means is, sorry, Nick, but you are really going to excel in areas of communication. Your sun shines in the 3rd house. Also, with Mercury in the 2nd, this is definitely like the chart of, I feel like, a business person, somebody who has sort of like a Bill Gates type thing going on. Also, leadership is huge for you because your North Node is in the 10th house. And this is if you're AM, 2 AM, hopefully. Is that what you said, Carlin?
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
AM, yes.
But he has 5 planets, or 4 planets and 1 asteroid in the 4th house of home and family. So what this means is that there's a certain level of intensity around home and family. With Saturn conjunct the moon, what this means is that there was sort of like a separation, so to speak, between you and a parental figure. Typically, it's mother, and in a lot of respects, that's a matter of you have to sort of overcompensate in order to make sure you're giving yourself a certain level of nurturing. You also Pluto conjuncting Venus, so the thing is, emotional life for you is extremely intense. And really, it's a matter of using the emotional life that you have and the intensity of that to propel you forward professionally. Your job is to really be on top. Your job is definitely to be a leader. It's a matter of making sure that you're utilizing your creative gifts, because you have 4 planets, including Jupiter, in the 5th house. So it's all about creativity. It's all about having fun. This is further emphasized with your Leo rising. It's really about really knowing that you are an artist, a creator in some capacity. Most likely, I think it has to do with communications. So it's a matter of using everything that you have to really get to the top of the heap, to really find out where is it that you want to really be number one, because I think that you'll be able to get there.
Curious just made me, Nick, I hope that's helpful. Curious just made me laugh inappropriately when you were doing that with his question, but we've got a couple super chats to get to before we get to his, but I think his or they, I'm actually not sure of their gender. No, I do know your gender. That is a man. I do know his gender. Okay. But that's going to be a good culminating question. We're going to save that one. You're going to like it. But we have a couple in. So from Cliff, we got a super chat from Zeza. And then Jen O'Toole, who's also another HR person that likes me. So we especially
she's Irish. She's Irish.
Yeah, she has very red hair in the chat. So let's start with Cliff's question, because I think this is a good one. He asks, will the media eventually be held responsible for their misinformation spreading?
Are we talking about fake news?
Yes, I think we're absolutely talking about fake news.
And tell me when I should stop shuffling.
Stop.
No, I don't think so.
Boo.
I think that it's more a matter of the whole concept of truth. All truths are true to those who believe them. So it's all about perspective. You can paint something the way that you want. With the Sorrow card, it's more a matter of everybody has these different perspectives. So, essentially you can perceive something any way that you want to perceive it and paint it that way. And in a lot of respects, it is about, the agendas that you want to paint. And I also think that because there's an incredible amount of emotionality, when you are combining emotions with any kind of topic, and I think that it's hard to separate emotion from topic, there's nothing that is purely 100% fact. I mean, everything is really subjective, so I don't think that that's going to happen, sadly.
Boo. That's too bad. That's okay. That's okay. Let me see. So I think Zeza asks, will we ever become united as a nation instead of being so divided?
That's a very, very sweet, people questions.
It is a sweet question.
That is a very sweet question. It's like we should sing we shall overcome.
No, we're not singing.
All right, will you repeat the question for me?
Will we ever become united as a nation instead of being so divided?
And tell me when I should stop shuffling.
Stop.
Yeah, I feel so, and I think it's interesting. It feels to me around the 16-year mark, I feel that there's going to be somebody that comes in, and it's almost going to be like this person that everybody likes, sort of akin to an Obama, I feel. There's going to be some fresh blood. I feel it's going to be 16 years, though, from now, in which there's going to be somebody that comes into the picture, and it's going to be just somebody that people just really, really get. I don't know, for whatever reason, he has this magical formula. Obviously, there's going to be some people that don't like him, but even more so than Obama, I think that for whatever reason, he's going to check a lot of boxes for a lot of people. Until then, no. I think that it's probably going to be, there's going to be a certain level of divide. But if you can hang out for the next 16 years, I think that you're going to see somebody come out that is really, it's really a miracle, and I think it's really what the American people have been praying for a very long time. So I think that, you know, with your influence by really promoting that understanding and that tolerance, I think that it might even, maybe it'll happen sooner. But I feel in 16 years you're going to get somebody that everybody, for the most part, likes much more, who's much less derisive than the people that we've had on the ballots.
Do you think that, and this is just my question, like, do you think that Donald Trump has, like, served a purpose for us, as, like served some larger role in, like, the destiny of this country?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think you can become president unless you have an ability to affect people on a very important level. I don't think that the universe would allow that to happen unless it was right. I mean, there's a reason why he became president. He was the most fit for the job. Energetically, we're talking, you know, like attracts like. How did he get that? We can say that it was the Russians that meddled in the election. We can say it was because of the votes. We can say whatever it is that we want. But at the end of the day, he got in office because he is energetically aligned more than Hillary. He's more with that position, with that role, which means that he's the best person for that role. That role is more reminiscent of him than anyone else. So yes, there's absolutely many things that we can learn. But if we, I think that if we as a world are more open to, if some people in the world are more open to understanding and not fighting, again, it's like people throwing these tantrums. They're mad at daddy, and they're not over it. They've got to get over it.
Do you think,
again, it's almost like hating your dad. It's like almost like hating your dad and be like, I hope he gets fired from his job. Well, that's really, really, really dumb, because daddy's paying your bills. Okay, daddy's getting you ice skating lessons. Daddy's getting you to go to school. He's putting food in your mouth. Like, why would you want him to fail? But I think that's really what this is all about. You have people that are just really, really mad at daddy.
Well, and that's the thing that's like driven me insane about this whole coronavirus situation is like, if Trump fail, like, you know, generally speaking, if it's just like a normal day and people want Trump to fail, like, whatever, like, it doesn't make that much of a difference. But with this, if he fails, that's going to impact every single person. Like, why would anyone want him to fail in this situation?
Because they're selfish. They're selfish, and again, I don't think that they're intentionally doing it. I think that a lot of our behavior is subliminally motivated. So people who, again, like if you said that to a Trump hater, they'd be like, I love my dad. I love my dad so much. He's full of it. He's completely wrong. Well, no, that actually further emphasizes my point, because you're not aware of the fact, or if somebody's not aware of the fact of their deep-seated resentment that they've sublimated, that they push down, then it's going to come out in all sorts of interesting ways. Where if somebody is like, you know, aware of like, oh yeah, I can't stand my dad, for instance, at least that person's working with the energy, at least they're processing it, at least they're aware. But so much of life, as you know, is subconscious.
So do you think, so maybe this is something you can psychic, and I'm absolutely going to hold you to what you say now.
Okay.
Is Trump going to win re-election?
Oh yeah.
You don't even need to psychic it.
Yeah. I mean, again, it just feels like I would be really, really, really shocked. Do you want to pull cards on it just to make sure?
Let's do it.
Let's just make sure.
Let's just make sure.
Will Trump? Will you ask the question, Carlin?
Will Trump win re-election?
And tell me when I should stop shuffling.
Stop.
Will Trump win re-election? Gain, debauch, Queen of Cups. Yes, I think that he will. It will be interesting to see who his running mate is. It's interesting.
What do you mean his running mate? It's gonna be Mike Pence.
Not his running mate. I'm sorry, his opponent. Like who he's going to be up against. It's really interesting.
There's gonna be a woman.
There's a woman here. It's interesting. Were you the one who was saying that Hillary's going to be on?
Oh, I was joking about that earlier, but Biden has actually already said it. He said in the last debate that his VP would be a woman.
Oh, he has. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a woman here. It's Queen of Cups. It's really interesting. I mean, that could be so many people. Elizabeth Warren is Queen of Cups. She's a Cancer.
Nah.
Clearly. Hillary Clinton's a Scorpio. That's a water sign. I don't think Hillary's fit though, right? Like she wouldn't.
Hillary has been tweeting an awful lot lately and butting her nose in, and like she's been doing a lot of media, and like there's this Hulu documentary about her. I just think it would be hilarious. I think it would be absolutely hilarious if Biden selected Hillary as his VP.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting here. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's some dissipation, but I think that it's pretty clear that he's moving in that direction. It's interesting though. Yeah.
All right, so we think Trump's gonna win, which we thought anyway. All right, so here's the question that Curious asked, and that literally made me laugh out loud. Did Jeffrey Epstein kill himself?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Yes.
Let's see. Will you ask Carlin for me?
Did Jeffrey Epstein kill himself?
Tell me when I should stop shuffling.
Stop.
Last wheel. No, I don't think so.
Obviously, psychic confirmation.
Yeah. No, this is something, holy crap. Whoa.
What do you see, Joshua? What are you psychicking?
I feel that it was like a chain reaction in the sense that, like, okay, this is what I get, Carlin. Think of it in terms of, like, energy, right? Let me see if I can get, like, energy, right? Like, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. It's almost like, he needs to go, he needs to go, he needs to go. Like almost like 25 people, not maybe that many, but I know that a lot of people were like almost like a domino effect. Like, this needs to happen, we need to make this happen. I think that he was being, the best way I can describe it is spiteful. And I think that he was going to probably come out with something that would be very catastrophic for a lot of people. And I feel it was a chain reaction in which many, many people connected and said that this needs to happen. And it was not just one energy that made this happen. It was definitely several. So it's really, really interesting. But this was something that was very, very far-reaching, and even outside of the United States.
Okay, I think this might be a good opportunity for us to both emphasize that we have no intention of killing ourselves anytime soon. Yes?
No, why?
Because I'm just saying, because I'm about to ask you if Hillary Clinton was involved.
Hillary Clinton?
Yeah.
I doubt it. Although I would not be surprised. I'm sure that the Clintons have had people killed. I mean, in my opinion.
In your humble opinion.
Let's say, my humble opinion. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So you want to know if Hillary Clinton was involved in Epstein's murder?
Yeah.
Tell me when I should stop shuffling.
Stop.
No, I feel that there's like distance there. Like, it doesn't feel like it's close. I think men who were involved in similar things that he was involved in. And I think that it's almost like, well, if I go down, I'm taking you with me. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think it's really very sordid. It's a very dark place. There's a lot of things that he's done that people don't even know about, is my guess.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yikes. Yikes, indeed. All right.
No more mean, dark questions.
No, I have a good one now. I missed a super chat, but I did actually write it down. I think this was from Jen, I believe. All right, so Jen, I'm sorry I missed your super chat. We're gonna do it now. She said, in current job search and have been considering opportunities in Seattle, which would be a relocation, and in Minneapolis, I think. Where would be best for me to land? And I have a birth date and a time.
I just need her first name.
Jen.
And it's 2 N's or 1?
2 N's. Jenn.
And it's Seattle, and where else?
I think it's Minneapolis.
I feel Seattle is definitely where she needs to go. I can tell you that even without the cards. I feel that there's a link that she has to Seattle. I feel it's somebody that especially she's supposed to be meeting there. So okay. I think that she should do that. She should definitely connect with Seattle. If there's a man that she's supposed to connect with there, is what I get.
Ooh, Jen gets a man in Seattle, so we're going to Seattle. Not right now though, because Seattle's not a place you want to right now. I wouldn't think. Okay, so people said like, okay, I'm going back to the Epstein thing. Leah said I should have said
Uh-oh. It's so gross.
I'm sorry, one more because I'm curious. Leah said I should have asked the Clintons, not Hillary. The Clintons. So Bill.
I don't feel that they were in, I mean, maybe. I feel it was more a matter of, I know that Hillary was distanced from it. Hillary's dealing with her own stuff. I don't think that I feel that she was definitely separated from it. You want to see if Bill was involved, though?
Sure.
Let's see. Was Bill involved? It feels really almost international. I would be more blaming it on, like, deep Hollywood and, like, British people.
Deep Hollywood? What is Deep Hollywood?
Deep Hollywood, like people who are in Hollywood, and like I would say it's more UK based, is my guess. Was Bill involved? And tell me I should stop shuffling on was Bill involved?
Stop.
I don't think so. I think that he knew that it was going to happen, though. I think Bill Clinton's very psychic, very intuitive. I think
Just in general?
Yeah, I think that he knows. Like, it feels to me as if he has this like ability to like almost like things go black in his head, in his mind's eye, and then he sees things happen. But I remember seeing just a moment ago when we were talking about that he called it. That he's like, that man's going to die. Just in the raspy voice that he has, that man's gonna die.
All right, guys. So the Clintons may be responsible for many things, but not necessarily Jeffrey Epstein. But
yeah.
Apparently, an international syndicate of people were responsible for Jeffrey Epstein. A
lot of people.
Oh yeah, like Prince Andrew. So yeah, you were right. Like the UK stuff. So Prince Andrew was involved in that.
Oh well, I mean, I don't know. Andy? I don't know. Probably. I don't know. I have no idea. It just feels as if it was international, and and definitely a lot of people wanted this man dead.
All right, so we've settled that, guys. All right. I mean, I think we said we're going to go for about an hour. We've gone for about an hour.
We have. It's great.
We did
a great job.
Yeah. So guys, this was our first one of these, and we've talked about maybe doing a little series. So let us know if you think this was fun and if you enjoyed it, and we will get better at this as we keep doing them. But I thought it was fun. Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Any parting psychic thoughts?
Well, we have a new moon today in Aries, so it's all a matter of, really knowing that it's spring, even though there might be a damper on things right now. It's all about new things. It's all about innovating. And Saturn went into Aquarius, which means that we have a responsibility to innovate. So a lot of the stuff that you might want to do, be innovative, do it online, and do what you can to just really bring as much positive energy to your lives right now as possible. Because with this Aries new moon, it's going to really set the tone for the next month and even the next 6 months. Or in 6 months, you're going to see the effects of this Aries new moon. So do something new, do something fun, do exciting, follow your excitement, and just enjoy your life as much as humanly possible.
Joshua, if people want to get a reading from you or sign up to coach with you, just like I do, where can they find you?
Just go psychicsun.com. So psychicsun.com. Or I'm on your Twitter. I'm always on that. So yeah, you'll be able to find me on Twitter or Instagram or what have you. All of it.
And I think I also linked to your website in the description for the video, so people can just go there. And
cool.
Honestly, guys, and I don't want to stroke Joshua's ego too much, but honestly, he has been invaluable for me for years now. It's like I can't fucking escape him, and so I can't recommend it enough. Like, he's super smart. It's not just like with the psychic stuff, although I'll tell you this though, to kind of wrap things up, and you can confirm this. A couple weeks before my Trump article went viral, we were talking about Trump, weren't we? Do you remember this?
We were. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you said to me, well, you were harping that something big was going to happen, and I was like, basically ignoring you. And then you said you said to me, like, you need to learn how to receive love from conservatives, and that was what got me to go to the Trump rally. So
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
yeah,
Well, I'm glad. Awesome.
so he is actually psychic sometimes.
Sometimes.
All right, Joshua, thank you for playing with us. It was fun.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, take care, guys, and yeah, I will be in touch soon, and we'll see our next live stream at some point. Bye.
Bye.